ஐயா, இப்போ கிளாஸ் எடுக்கிறேன், கீழே போய்க்கிறீங்களா? இப்போ கிளாஸ் எடுக்கிறேன் நான்.
அப்படியா?
கீழே போய்க்கிறீங்க.
சரி சரி.
Good evening, everyone. Are my slides visible? Yes. Thank you. So, good evening, all. I'm Manigandan. This is tutorial 11, based on the week contents of week 11 of the course, The Joy of Computing Using Python. Okay. So, we'll solve some more problems today based on the contents of week 11 of the course. So, the week 11 of the course is mainly on browser automation and calendar library of Python. Okay. So, as usual, we'll start up with some quiz, and we'll follow that by some programming assignments. So, the first question here, it asks which Python library is used for browser automation. So, please post your answers in the chat box. So, once I know enough of students have posted the answers, I'll move on to the next question. So, out of the 4 options, which one is the Python library that is used for browser automation? Okay. Out of the 4 options, option 1, 2, 3, 4, which one is used for, which library is used for browser automation? So post your answers in the chat box. Okay, yeah. Okay, one of you have responded. So the answer is Selenium. So Networks X is used for graphs, NumPy is used for numerical operations, NLTK is for speech this natural language translation, and Selenium is for browser automation. Okay. Now the second question, which package is used to work with date and time in Python? Is it time date, datetime, DTTM, TMDT? Any responses? No. Okay, this one is straightforward. Yes, date time. Yes. Date time is the right answer. Okay, so which function is used to see the current date and time in Python? Okay, so out of the 4 options, which one do you think is the right? Is it current, today with time, now, or none of the above? Okay, any answers? No. Yes. So now is the right answer. So this is a matter of syntax. Now is the right syntax to get the current date and time. So again, which Python library is used for time zone? PYTZ. Correct. So PYTZ is again a matter of syntax. PYTZ is the right syntax used for time zone. Which of the following statement can be used to see the calendar for January 2020? Okay, so out of the 4 options, which one do you think is the right statement to see the calendar for January 2020? Yes. So the right answer is got it right. Calendar dot month 2021. So this is calendar for a month. The year and the month number are passed as arguments inside the brackets. Okay, so which statement can be used to come out of an infinite loop? So this is based on the earlier week content, like way before we have learnt all these things. So this is kind of a refresher. Which statement can be used to come out of an infinite loop? Break. So it is break statement. So which of the following is not a correct conditional block in Python? So all of these 4 options revolve around the if-else block. So one of them has a wrong syntax. So which one is that? Yes, most of you got it right. It is this one. So elif is the right syntax for if you want to do else if kind of a conditional. Okay, so the value returned when the function is o weekday is, and that for function weekday is used for the when the date is 19th June 2017 and that is a Monday. So on this date, if you render this functionality ISO weekday and weekday, what will be the output that you will see? So on corresponding to this date, it will throw you some output when you invoke this functionality and this functionality. So what will be the corresponding outputs? So 4 pairs of outputs are given corresponding to these two functions: 0 0 0 1 1 0 and 1 1. Okay, 1 1. So the right answer for this question is 1 0. So weekday, it will return a number based on which day of the week it is. So Monday starts with 0, and correspondingly the other days go till 6 for Sunday. Okay, so this one starts with 0 all the way till 6. But is O weekday, it's a slightly modified functionality of this, where this is in a more readable format. So here counting starts from 1. Here Monday is 1 and Sunday goes till 7. Okay, so these are two different functionalities, basically doing a similar task. One is more readable and one is more of a computer format. Okay, so here counting starts from 1 and here counting starts from 0. That's the only difference. So Monday, when you call this function, will be 1, and when you call weekday function, it will be 0. Okay, so it's 1 0 corresponding to these functions. So question number 9, what will be the output of the following Python code? The system date is 18th June 2017, that is a Sunday. So in the code, in an object tday, so the today functionality is used under this date library. Okay, so in that object the weekday functionality is invoked. Okay, so whatever day that day was, the corresponding weekday will be displayed, the number corresponding to that. So here counting starts from 0. So what will be the output? Six. So already this is kind of a given. Sunday, that is already mentioned. So corresponding to that, the weekday will be 6. Okay. Now, which of the following functions can be used to find the coordinated universal time assuming that the data time module has already been imported. So this is also a matter of syntax. So coordinated universal time is the Greenwich Mean Time. So to see the current time over there at that 0 degree longitude, what is the right functionality to be invoked? So if you have a doubt, you can try running all these 4 options in Spider and then find out. So coordinated universal time is a time zone basically. So in India it is the time zone. So the time is calculated by the longitude that is passing through Kolkata. Okay, so the time that is at Kolkata, that is the reference for Indian Standard Time. Like that, globally in England there is a Greenwich Mean Time. So 0 degree longitude starts there. Okay, so from there we'll add few hours and minutes corresponding to each time zone in each standard time zone in each country. Okay, so in India it is Kolkata that is the standard time zone. Whatever time we see in Kolkata, that is the reference for entire India. Irrespective of the sunset and sunrise are different at different places. The time that is originally recorded in Kolkata, that is the Indian Standard Time, IST. Similarly, coordinated universal time, that is passing through Greenwich, London. So that's called GMT. And India's GMT plus 5.5 hours. Okay, so basically we are ahead of them because we are east to Europe. Okay. Datetime.utc. Okay, datetime.utc. Now also has to be added. Okay, so your answer was partially right, but we want to know the time now, so now has to be added. Okay. So this datetime for the entire library, this the module is the functionality. So some programming assignments for you all. So over here, write a program that calculates and prints the value according to the given formula. Okay, so a formula is given: Q is equal to square root of 2 times C times D divided by H. Okay, so the entire thing is under root. Okay, C and H are given fixed values. C is 50, H is 30. So D is the variable whose value should be input to your program in a comma separated sequence. Okay, so over here the input is a sequence of values for D with each value separated by a comma. Okay. Output should be that we should print the sequence of Q values. Okay, this one, what are the formula calculates, with each value separated by a comma. So that is the output format. So an example is given. So input is 3 numbers separated by commas, and the corresponding q will be calculated. Okay, so these are d's. The d is used over here. Yeah. So for each d there is a corresponding q that is calculated by this formula, and those q are outputted here. So there are some test cases also. We'll go through that. So I'll give you 10 minutes for all of you. So please launch Spider and try to write a code for this formula implementation. So this is simple formula implementation. Just have to create a list of D, list for holding D's, and a list for holding Q's. So for each element in the list corresponding to a value of D, there will be a Q which should be calculated. Okay. So please try doing that, and we'll give you 10 minutes to do this problem. Okay. So please launch Spider and try this program. Okay. Sure. So everyone, I attached a YouTube link to my channel. So all lectures are recorded here. So whenever you want to feel like revising these problems, you can go here and check out. And I also attached a drive link where I'm posting the weekly PPTs that I'm preparing for our sessions every week. So that is here. So whoever doesn't have access to that, please copy these two links and bookmark in your browser. Okay. So please continue with this assignment. Sure. So try to do this assignment. So whatever code you have developed so far, so in 5 more minutes, please put it in the comment box, chat box. Till whatever you have tried, put in the chat box. We'll work through it together. Sure. Answers for previous assignment. Okay, so previous assignments, as in, are you referring to the problems that we work on a weekly problem solving session, or? Okay. So that is, the solutions are over here itself in the PPTs itself. I mostly have the solutions. So if there is any, so in the drive folder, I always attach the code for the programming assignments, and for other quiz questions I always mark it every answer like this. Okay, so like this you can find out which is the right answer, but I don't have definitions for why these are the right answers. For that, you can check out the YouTube channel. Okay. Suggestions for NPTEL. Okay, so I've had my share of no answers in PPT. So answers in PPT will be there. So I'm referring to answers in this format as a markdown. So if it is not there, you can go through the YouTube lectures. Okay, so there find out more detailed explanation for every answer. Okay. So I will attach my YouTube channel here. So suggestions for NPTEL exam are like, so I have given some NPTEL exams before. I have not given the exam for this one, although, and I have not set the questions for this course also. So based on what I have dealt with NPTEL exam so far, it's like you'll be provided so you'll go to a center where you'll give all the responses in a computer. Previous year questions. So all the assignment questions that we are solving in the weekly session, they are previous year questions only. So this is basically for you to help through your exams, so that you don't get startled when you go to the final exam. Okay. So all the PPTs we are solving, they are all based on previous year questions only. Okay. So that is the point of this problem solving session. So to make you ease through the problem solving for it and prepare you for your final exam. So the exam format will be like mostly MCQs. If there is any coding part, it will be like an online console that will pop up for you to solve the question. But you will always be in the software where they record and see everything. So you will not exit that window. So exiting that window will give you some penalty or something. So you will not be allowed to do that. Any problem solving, it will pop up, like there will be a console available if there is a coding problem. Otherwise it will be mostly MCQs. There will be, so I saw the format. So it's like, it can be essays, it can be a numerical answer type question, it can be an MCQ also. So it can be of any sort. Sometimes you have to just debug some code. Sometimes like some kind of question will be given to you like this. So you just have to write the algorithm in an essay format, point wise. Okay. So any sort of question may come. It may be essay, it may be a numerical answer type, or it may be an MCQ. But you don't have to worry about that. If you go through all 12 weeks contents and practice all the problem solving that we do every week, it should be good enough for the final exam. So if you have any doubts, post it in the discussion forum. That will be promptly responded. Okay. Or otherwise, if you have any doubts, you can mail Stace. Okay. So wherever you are getting the weekly reminder for your this problem you are solving session. So over there you attach your doubts. Preferably 2 days before. So next week will be a last session for us. So if you have any doubts, post in the mail or put it in the discussion forum. So that will be taken up. Okay. One of the TAs will definitely respond. If you want to solve here, you can mail me in the so in the reminder mail that you receive before every session. So you can reply to that. So so we can discuss those doubts in class also. Okay, so don't worry too much about the exams. Exam hall. Okay, so exam hall you can so take one ID of your, okay, one address proof and one maybe your college ID and your hall ticket. I think that is sufficient for any exam. This is all they ask, not more than this. And other things, you will not be allowed a calculator. So there will be a screen calculator appearing on your screen. So any kind of calculations you will need to do that.
Yes, excuse me, sir.
Yes.
Sir, that YouTube page showing very advanced questions is the same for us, means Joy of Python, or some different course? Can you check it once again?
Oh no. So there is a playlist. So in that channel, if you go to the playlist, there are 2 courses. So every semester I teach different courses, so that will be updated here.
Yeah, this
So
one, Joy of Computing, right?
yeah,
Sir?
So you go to the playlist over there. There is this Joy of Computing using Python.
Okay, sir, got it.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, sure. Okay, so for the exams, the documents necessary are one address proof, your college ID, maybe that is not compulsory. You can take that as a supporting document, and yeah, your hall ticket for this exam, that is must. All other electronic items are not necessary. They will provide you with a screen calculator, so you can practice using the screen calculator. So there will be software available called Gate Online Calculator. So if you just Google search Gate Online Calculator, you will get a link to download a software. There will be a screen calculator that is used in Gate exams and all. So a similar kind of calculator will be used for your NPTEL. So that will be a good warm up for your final exam using that calculator and all. Okay, so I suggest that to everyone because that will be a bit difficult to work upon. Not so difficult, it will be a bit new. So you can download that and get used to it. So maybe I can give you the link to that. Yeah, so there is an extension. So if you enable this extension, add into your Chrome, this sort of calculator will appear. So this is the calculator you will be using for your exam. Okay, so no keyboards, only mouse. You have to touch each number with your mouse, and then you can do calculations. So I'm putting that link also here. So use this calculator. That will be a good practice for your final exam. Okay. But mostly it's not an intense mathematics course. Mostly it's logic. Computer calculator is not needed that much, but still anything you want to verify, you can always use this. Okay, so we'll come back to the assignments. Okay, so I'll give you the answer for this one. Yes. So let us try doing this in Spider. So it starts with importing the math library for doing any mathematical operations. So the values of C is defined as 50 and H is defined as 30. An empty list for the values to be stored is created. Okay, so in this list, whatever Q value that we calculated using the formula, that will be added corresponding to each D value. Okay, so an empty list for values created, and now we take items X for X in. So this line is just to take input items, okay, in a comma separated format for all. So all the all the D values, it will be stored in this array item, in the list items. Okay, input dot split, and the split we use here is separator is comma. Okay, now go to next line. For D in items, so we are iterating through the list called items, because in this list whatever D values that we input will be stored. Okay, sorry, for D in items, for each D value we calculate the Q value. So for Q value, there is a value list created, that is an empty list. So to that empty list we append each value after doing some calculation using the formula. Okay, so the formula is here, square root of 2CD divided by H, that is the formula. Okay, so we need to write that in Python language, the formula. So we are converting, so we calculate in integer format and then convert to string and then attach in the empty value. Okay, so we append that to the empty list. Okay, so the integer has to be rounded off, so a round functionality. So whenever you open bracket, close it as well, so that will be easier to keep track of the brackets. Square root of 2CD over H. So float precision is used for D. Okay. Now, so each value that each Q value is calculated using this formula. Okay, that's in this bracket. So that calculation, whatever Q value calculated, that is appended to the empty list value. Now we have to print that list. So print using a separator comma, and then use the join functionality. Join value. So the value is the iterator here. Okay. Okay, save this and run. So there is an example 100, 150, 100, 150, 180. Yeah, corresponding output 18, 20, 24 is displayed here. Okay, so this one works good. Skin it out. Yes, so I have already attached the YouTube link. So if you want to watch the previous practice sessions, go to this YouTube channel and go to the playlist, The Joy of Computing Using Python. Over there you will find all the past videos. Okay, so this one works fine. Couple of test cases maybe we'll check. Run. Test case 1, 23, 31, 24, 53, 31. Corresponding outputs 9, 10, 9, 13, 10. We got it. One more test case maybe. 10, 20, 30, 40, 6, 8, 10, 12. So code is working fine. So it's a simple code. Okay. So the values of D that are stored in this user defined input list, okay, called items, and we are iterating for D in the list items. So for each D value in float format, we are calculating square root 2CD over H. We are rounding it off, converting it to integer, and this string conversion is just to convert it into a string and attach to the list in a string format. We are doing this. Okay, separated by commas, we print out the list, we get this kind of output. Okay, now we'll move on to the next problem solving assignment. Okay, so here it is. So the next problem solving assignment is to write a program that accepts a comma separated sequence of words as input and prints the words in a comma separated sequence after sorting them alphabetically. Okay, so the input format is that it should contain words separated by comma, and output is print the words in a sorted format separated by comma. Okay, so a couple of words are given here. Starts with W, starts with H, B, W. Okay, so two words with W, it will go to the next word and see which one comes first. I is before O, so without is before world. Okay, bag and hello, B and H are before W in the alphabetical sequence. So if you give these four words, this is the sequence in which it will be outputted. Okay. So any sequence of words it should arrange them in alphabetical order and give you the output. So that is the task you need to do. So take 10 more minutes for this one. Then we'll move on to the next question. So this one is a very simple code, so please try it out and attach the answers in the chat box. So the clue is to use the sort functionality. So that is all you need to do. Okay, take your time. In 10 minutes we'll move on to the solutions. But please try and post your answers in the chat box, so that way you will get some practice for your final exams as well. So this code was working okay if I use words starting with different letters, but when I run some test cases starting with the same alphabet, it is failing. Okay, so we'll come back to this. I'll check another code. Yeah, this one works fine. Run, baseball, basketball. Yes. Okay. Yes, this one works fine. Okay, so the difference between this code and the previous code that I was trying from Bhargavi's response, so it's using the sorted list form functionality. So over here instead it is sort. So in the solutions I have also, they have used to sort. So we have to find out, verify this difference between sort and sorted. Maybe sorted only takes care of the first letter, not every alphabet after that. So sort takes care of that also. So when we input words that are of same letter, like 3 names we had given. Okay, so it's like even the same word starting with same letter, it is arranging them on the basis of the next following alphabets if the first alphabets are same. Okay, so this code works fine. So what this is doing, it is creating a empty list L is created and enter a list of words. Okay, input is taken. So input is separated by a separator, splitted by a separated comma, and then it is sorted for each x in the list L. Okay, so S is an empty character. Okay, S equals S. So concatenate. Okay, for every element in L, concatenate to the character S with a separator, comma. Okay, so this is how it is done, and finally it is printed out. So I hope it's straightforward for everyone. So this is the solution given by Geeta. Okay, so I had a similar solution. So it takes up a list is defined called items. For each item X, it is a user defined input list separated by a comma. Then this list is sorted using this functionality, sort. Okay, and then we are printing each items in this list items separated by a comma and then joining them, so that will print the list. Okay, so this will print the sorted list. So it's good. Geeta got it right. So we'll move on to the last programming assignment for today. Okay, So this assignment asks, write a program which will find all such numbers between m and n, both included, such that each digit of the number is an even number. Okay. So we have to write a code which finds numbers between m and n. M and n are some whole numbers, both included. You have to find all the numbers between them such that each digit of the number is an even number. Not only the entire number should be even, each digit of the number should be even. So we have to print out that list. Okay, so the input format is m and n should be separated by a comma. Okay, so that is the input. Output should be printed in a comma separated sequence. The numbers between m and n such that each digit of the number is an even number. So the constraints for the m and n values are given. Both m and n should lie between 1000 and 9000. So these are the constraints. Okay. So these are some test cases. So there's a smaller test case here. So if you give 2000 and 2020, so between them, these are the numbers such that all the digits are even. Okay. So if you see till 2008, it seems like normal even number counting, but after 2008, the next even number is 2010. But 2010 has a 1 in it, which is not even. So all the numbers all the way till 2020, they are not included, because 2012, 14, 16, 18, everything has a 1 in it. So they are not included, and only 2020 is included. So this way, given two values for m and n, so the constraints for m and n are here. We have to find out all the numbers between them such that all the digits are even. Okay, so take your time and do this, write a code for this. We'll discuss the solution after 10 minutes. Okay, so but please try to solve. This will be a good practice for you. So over here, for checking if each number is for checking each digit is even, so you can convert that number into a string, and then you can iterate through that string. Okay, whatever number is between m and n, convert that into a string, and then for each each character in the string, you can iterate through it by converting it to an integer again. So iterating through a string is easier than iterating through digits and number. So for that reason, you convert a number into string, but when you do the even number test, do int of that character into, convert it back to integer, and then do the divisibility test for an even number. Okay. So that way it should be simple enough. So what I'm saying is, let's say m is equal to 2000 and n is equal to 2020, like in the one of the test cases. Okay, so if I check a number randomly, so that number is, let's say I is 2010. Okay, so what I'll do is I'll convert this I into a string. Okay, now we can use a for loop to iterate through the string. Okay, so let's say for G in range of length of this string check S of J. So you have to check each digit in the string. So use int, check int of this is 0 or not, and then append. Then you can, if this condition is satisfied, you can then append it to the final output list. Okay, so this is the algorithm. So I'll reveal the solution for the last assignment. So launch spider. So input m and n separated by a comma, dot split typecast. So it's default taking in character format. We have to typecast into integers. Same way, n equals t of n. Okay, create an empty list for values. That will be our output list. So for I for I in the range, m comma n plus 1. So the last value will be ignored. So it will be a range containing m and n, including m and n. Okay. So s equals, so this is the string conversion that I was talking about. Do this. Okay. So for I in the range this. Now for each character of s, we have to check this divisibility test. Okay, so we know the s length can be maximum, it's a 4-digit number. Okay, so we have to check the divisibility test for 2 for all the 4 digits. So it goes like this. So this is the typecasting I was talking about. So integer of s0 Great. So one of you posted an answer, so I'll check with this one first. Okay, so I'll try running some test cases in it, then we'll go through the logic. 2000, 2020. Oh, sorry, shouldn't be commas. Okay, 2000, 2020, 2002. Yes. Print I. Okay, so this one is showing all the numbers. So this one works fine. Let us try one more test case. 1000 and 2080. Clear. 1000, 2080. Okay, 1000, 2080. Okay. Yeah, 2000. 2000 on the item. Yes, this code works fine. Good. Okay, so mapping, whatever input is given here, separated by commas, it will be typecasted into int. So that is what the map function does, printing out m and n. Okay, so for I in range mn, okay, so this will be more perfect with m plus n. Yeah, if m plus n is added, only then the last n also will be counted. So if you see here, 2080 is missing. Yeah, 2080 should also be in the output. See, 2060, 2080 also should be in the output list. So if I correct this to n plus 1, now it should be fine. So I'll clear, running the program again for the input 1000, 2080. So for this test case, now 2080 is also included. So small correction, n plus 1 instead of n. Okay, so doing this, now it is showing up all the numbers as in the test case. Okay, so for I in range m to n plus 1, so all the numbers are converted into string. For j in I, if this integer check is done, it is divisible by 2. If this condition is true, then break. Okay, so yeah, that's a good way. Else print this. Okay, this is good enough. Okay, now it's look better. So indent should be properly given. If else, okay, so if it's not divisible by 2, break out of the loop, else print those values. Okay, so this is checking if all the digits are divisible by 2 or not. So here we are converting all the numbers into string format. Now it will be easier to iterate through. Integer of j, this divisibility check is done. Every digit is checked if it's divisible by 2 or not. If it's not, break out, else print all the numbers separated by commas. So that is the end of this program. Yes. So you got this right. Who did this? It is for else block. Which one is for else block? Yeah. So I did the indent correction. Let us run it again. 1000 to 80. Yes. What was the problem? Now, yeah, it's working now. Okay. Yes, thank you. So, Bhargavi got this right. So, I suggest you all to use this kind of formatting. So, in the solutions that are given to me, so in that they had done this divisibility check in a more cumbersome way. So they are going through each digit doing this divisibility test. So that is not a efficient way to do. So that's why I gave you the idea of using the for loop. So that was done properly. So this is a similar solution, just that this calculation, this divisibility check is done manually. So this is a cumbersome way to do it. Instead, we'll prefer this way of iterating through the string. Okay. So yes, Bhargavi got it right. So good. Okay. So thank you everyone. So this is all we had for today. We'll meet you in the next Monday. So all the best for your exams.